Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and I'd like to welcome you all back to Whips, Bits and Chat 60 something or other. Yeah, that's right, I've forgotten. I'm not even going to bother looking today. 60 something anyway. Right, so up today we'll start off with the video roundup, and then we'll go on and chat about other bits and pieces that have happened this week. Right, so for video roundup this week, I'm really sorry. I was really lapsed with videos this week. My main thing was, it was down to the fact that we went off to the wedding and I was just in no fit state to make videos. Pain meds are fun, but not that fun. So because of that, we only have this week's Big and Little Crochet Collective crochet book set. This week's one was number 4 of 8. Now please remember, if you watch these, pop a comment in the drop down box saying which one patterns you like the most, because you never know, I might be able to find something similar on the internet for you to have a go at. I won't be able to give you a big information on the actual pattern itself, but of course I might be able to find you something. And then we had our attempts at lives, and that is all I can really say about Tuesday morning. We had serious internet issues in the area, which meant that there wasn't enough upload speed in the area for me to get those lives going to you. First one was mucked up by that. The second one, turns out I had it was recording under 2 different names. So I had the same live going out but in 2 different spots. So I ended up shutting the whole thing down, and of course I couldn't get it back up and going again. And the same issues were happening that evening, which is why the Tuesday evening lives were also knocked on the head. Sorry about that if you were looking forward to those. We'll try and get back to them this coming Tuesday. Right, so next video up was of course the Throwback Friday. Now that is where I take you to have a look at some older videos, and then I give you a bit more information on them and tell you about bits I've missed out or bits that have changed. So that is it for the videos for this week. So all of the links to those will be up there. Oh, and by the way, apologies. Oh, that on. Dora is naked today, so I've turned around so she doesn't flash her boobies at everybody. And the reason for that is I'm actually wearing the top. I've restricted myself from bread so my belly fits in it. So what I'm going to do in a second is tell you all about the top in a bit more detail. Right, so in a few moments I will tell you all about the top and where you can get your hands on that pattern if you haven't already picked that up, because I think I spoke about it in last week's lives and possibly the last week's Whips and Bits, but I'll best go and double check that, haven't I? I'm going to cheat. There we go. Right, so the pattern is called the Mercedes. Okay, it's a pattern by our gorgeous Courtney at Fibre Fox Studios. Now this has been on my list for ages since she first put it out in April 2020. And so I've been holding on to it since then. But I finally did it, and I have made it using the Papaya Sunday cotton. Okay, this is a microfiber cotton. You get, here we go, 100 grams or 350 ounces. There is 320 metres or 350 yards. It's 100% microfiber acrylic. Now they recommend using a 3 to 4 millimetre hook on knitting needles and a 2 to 3 millimetre hook while crocheting. Okay, now the colourway I'm holding here is different to the one that I used in my top. If I remember the number, I'll stick it in the drop down box later. Right, now this yarn is a lot thinner than what our gorgeous Courtney suggested.
Loads thinner.
She's got a brilliant write-up on this.
Okay, so yes, I did cheat on that last bit. What I will do is put a link to last week's Whips, Bits and Chat, where all the details are on there from 9 minutes onwards. Okay, so all the details about the yarn weight and differences between the yarns, and hopefully all of that is on there for you to go and have a nose at. Especially if you're, say, in the UK like me and you can't get hold of the same yarn that Courtney used. maybe you'd want to use this yarn or a different yarn. At least then you'd know the differences in thicknesses. Right, so what have I been up to this week? As our lives marked up, I've got lots to tell you about. Right, so as you all know, I went to a wedding on over the weekend. We travelled down on Friday morning, and the trip would normally take us between 3.5 and 4 hours, depending on how many stops we had to do. We've managed it in 3:25 before now. We just went straight through, no kids in the car, it was perfect. But and this time round that didn't happen. We had torrential rain, so on the M25 car park, as the locals like to call it, the speeds went from 70 down to 60, down to 30, down to 40, and at some points we were just sitting there, just looking out the window wondering what was going on. So the trip ended up taking us just shy of 6 hours. So we managed to get to our hotel. Luckily we left really early because our plan was leave early, go and find me a bra to fit under my top, because it turns out the halter neck I've had for far too many years, gained too many sizes, and it certainly doesn't fit. So we were going to go and do that, and we were going to grab hubby a pair of shoes to go out with, because he didn't have any smart ones, he'd worn them out. So we're driving down there. We get to the hotel, book into the hotel, and then we go and attempt to find some shops open. Well, the only thing we could find open was Sports Direct. And so Madam here got stuck with a bikini top. But thankfully that held up for the day and didn't move, so that was perfectly fine. And he looked really lovely underneath the dress, the pink and black one that was on Dory a couple of weeks ago. So I got some absolutely gorgeous comments about the dress / top from everybody that was there. They all really liked it. Thankfully I didn't walk out with any orders, because I informed them of how much it was going to cost in yarn, and they went, no, you're right. So and the wedding itself was absolutely beautiful. Now, before we went down to the wedding, I'd spoken to the bride and the groom, because of course with COVID restrictions they could only have 20 guests, and if they had a photographer, he would have, or she would have to count as a guest, and they wanted to get as many friends and family in that they could. And so it was just adults, because of course then that helped keep the numbers down as well. So the best man's known me for far too long, and he knows that way before crochet I had a thing for photography, and I used to make up little videos using the photographs I'd taken, put them to background music and things like that. And he asked me basically if I'd be up for doing some of the photography for the wedding, which of course I agreed to, because you can't not go to a wedding and take photos. So I dusted off my kit, and that came down with me. So both me and my husband were taking photographs, and of course so was the rest of the wedding party, and it was really, really lovely. So I got some absolutely gorgeous shots. Now the agreement was that I would take the photographs, stick them on a memory card and hand them over to the bride and groom. Okay, I might muck around with a few of them, turn them black and white, add back in some colour detail and things like that on my favourite shots, which they were happy for me to do. And then I was just going to give them the memory card and send them on their way, let them choose what they wanted to print and what they didn't want to print and all the rest of it. So on the wedding day I'm going around all the group of guests saying to them, right, I'm going to get a drop, Rob's going to sort out a Dropbox for us, so that you can download all the photos you take, and then we can shove them on the same disc, on the same memory card, and hand them over to the bride and groom, so they've got everybody's photos and they're not having to chase them. And then Rob's coming behind me going, it's not a Dropbox, Ange, it's blah blah blah, this is what we're going to be using, don't worry, she's a bit daft, she doesn't know what she's talking about. So I'm like, yep, I know. just let him get away with it. So of course it made everybody giggle, which also meant that every person that was there would remember this bird was banging on about a Dropbox. So when we get what was it, after the service, and we sat down for the meal, which was absolutely gorgeous, and the bride was absolutely stunning, the groom didn't look too bad either. I've known him the longest, so I can be the cheekiest with him. And my husband announces to the bride and groom that as an extra wedding gift, his wife is going to make him a wedding album. So now, not only am I editing my images, I'm taking on the guests' images, removing red eye, cropping them, possibly tweaking some of them because there are some beautiful shots that have come through. And then their initials are going to be put on the bottom of the photograph so that the bride and the groom know whose photos are whose. And it also means then that it's going to make the album more personalised, and because everybody's joining in on it. But oh my gosh, how much work! I'd forgotten how much work was involved in building an album. Actually, no, I didn't. That's why I hadn't offered. But so we get home and I say to my husband, "Don't forget, you got to do the Dropbox." He says, "It's not a Dropbox, woman." So he sets up whatever it was that it was meant to be, hands the information over to the groom to pass around the guests, and the groom tries to upload something and it doesn't work. And nothing worked, not even my husband uploading to it. So he's going, "Oh, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do." I said, "I'm sure there's such a thing as a Dropbox." So then he's gone off and he's looked and he's gone, "Yes, you win." He sets up a Dropbox. So now all the guests are sending in their favourite shots of the wedding into this Dropbox, and I think there's about 40 sitting in there at the moment from about 3 or 4 guests. So it's amazing the amount of choice that the bride and groom are going to have when it comes to building up their album. And so that's something else I've got to arrange, is getting all the photos ready to go, and then because of the distance we're going to have to FaceTime and have them choose the album's FaceTime and then work it through, not the album, sorry, choose the photographs through FaceTime. So fingers crossed that won't upset them too much. I can't see it being that way, to be honest, because they're a pretty cool bride and groom. But yeah, that is another reason why there hasn't been many videos this week, is because I've been concentrating on trying to get that done. But I'll tell you what, when he said it, oh my gosh, didn't I want to wring his neck. Completely and utterly starve him of oxygen. Now, what else have I been up to? Right, we have got a new poppy count. Now, as you remember, there is 8 boxes up there, which brings the total up to 480 in the box. So there was a 20 going free in a way. So I have added them to this next box. So we now have 9 boxes of completed poppies are ready to go to the Royal British Legion. So that is another completed box, which brings us up to 9 boxes, totaling 540 poppies, which leaves me 460 left to go. 460, I'm on the final countdown. It's all downhill from here on. Yay! Now, if you remember, last week I was telling you that I was a pattern tester for our gorgeous Reggie at J-Hook Crochet. Now the pattern testing is over and done with. The item is finished and I still can't show it to you. But don't worry, as soon as she releases that pattern, I will be showing off the item that I've made using her pattern, and giving you the whole background story as to how certain things happened and what happened. Because you know me, there's 9 out of 10 times always a background story or something that went wrong within a pattern. So keep your ears out, and that one I think you're going to find funny. And the issues are not down to Reggie's pattern, and they were down to me being overzealous. I think that would be the right term. What do you think, Reggie? Overzealous? Right, so now it is time to do the draws for the lives for the extra patterns that I put up for offer. Now, only 1 or 2 of you actually answered the questions on each of these draws. So what I'm going to do is go through all of the draws and put all of the names for the people that answered those questions, whether you got it right or wrong, into the wheel and then I will spin off and see which one of you is lucky enough to win that prize. So the very first draw to add to this list is from the Coffee Needed live on the 8th of the 6th. Now only 2 of you actually answered the question that was placed in the video. Neither of you got the answer right though. The question was things that are associated with Scotland, and number 10 was rain. So there's the card and the proof there for you guys. If it will focus, come on, focus. Oh, you believe me. That's fine. Right, so the 2 girls that were lucky enough to be entered onto the wheel at this point are Jen Reeves and Natalie B. The next video up was the Tuesday evening live, which said forget about the coffee. Now for this one you needed to guess how many poppies I managed to pack during that live, and now the number was actually a 34. Now none of you guessed that, but we have a few more to add to the spinny wheel here. Okay, so the first one up is our Mrs. Bradshaw, followed by Linda Rogers. Jen has got another entry, and Handmade Designs is in there too. So let's get the other camera down and we'll do the spin for those 2 lives, and good luck to everybody that's entered.
Right, so here you go. All your names are entered onto the wheel. Good luck, everybody. Oh, and congratulations, the winner is our Mrs. Bradshaw. So remember honey, check the description box of this video on how to claim your prize. You have a week to do it in. The next draw we have up is from the live labelled Over the Pond and Far Far Away, and this was from a fortnight ago. It was the first attempt at an Australian live. Now I had a lot of response from this one, as you was actually asked as the question at the end of the live as to who was the creator of this pattern. So of course you all knew that because I said her name repeatedly through the video, and it is our gorgeous Courtney from Fiber Fox Studios. So everybody that put her name in has been put onto the spin wheel again. Now the reason I've used the spin wheel on this one is because when I did try and type it in, not everybody's comment was counted. So this way I thought it was a lot fairer, as some of you just put Courtney, some of you just put Fiber Fox, and some of you have put all of it. So easier option. Luckily there's not millions and millions of you, so let's go and have a look at who's been included on this one, because you answered the question. So the lucky people that have been included in this one are Jane Stevens, Ladybird Loves, our Natalie P, our Mrs. Bradshaw, YOH Crochet. Oh crikey, I have got no idea how to say the last name, and I think I've spelled that. No, I've got it correctly. I'm sorry darling, I'm going to have to shorten your first name and call you Rad if that's okay. Fingers crossed you're not going to be too upset with me with that, but I am absolutely rubbish at pronouncing names that aren't plain simple and boring like mine. Right, so let's hit the spin button. There we go, all your names are on, and I've put it on so that your names are on twice, as there's only a few of you. So good luck everybody. Oh my gosh, congratulations Rad. Honestly, not a setup here, this is just me pushing the button and hoping for the best. So congratulations darling. If you could please read the description box of this video, it will tell you how to claim your prize. And the very last question was from the Anything is Possible live. Now the question on this one was science fiction movies, and you needed to guess number 10. There was no entries into this one. I'm not sure if it's because it's doomed you or because you've given me absolutely every answer you could think of to find number 5, or whichever number it was we'd have picked originally. So just in case you were interested, the answer to the science fiction movies is The Day the Earth Stood Still. There we go, for number 10. Now, as I said, there were no entries into this one. The only comments were from the girls that had already claimed their prizes. So there's no draw for this one. None. Nada. Nothing. But I can't leave on a down note. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on to Tuesday's partial broken mucked up lives and go through all the comments that were put on the live as it stood, pull out all the names, and if you was there and you'd even said the basic hello, you're going to be entered. So let me do that, and I'll meet you back here in a second. Do have a look at the spinny wheelie thing. Fingers crossed I get you all. Now please remember, I may miss one or two of you because you may have been on a different video stream when it collapsed and went doolally, but I will try my hardest to get you all in. Right, so here are the entries. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I've managed to find all of you. Right, so first one up is Sabrina. Next up is Jules B, followed by Susan Marsh, and then Elaine. Then our Groomie Ninja, followed by Jen Brandon, Tammy Cook, and of course our cheeky Reggie. Right, so let's set this up to spin. Right, so good luck everybody. You've all got 2 attempts at winning this one. So congratulations Reggie, you've gone and done it again, honey. So send me a message with which pattern you would like, and I will fire that over to you. So congratulations to our 3 winners today. Right, your pattern choices are May the 4th be with you, what was it, Tree in a Flower Pot, or this month's new one, which is a Stitch in Time. If you've already got them, just tell me in the message and we'll work out something else. Now please read the description box. That explains the steps that you need to do prior to claiming. I can tell you're all channel members and you've all got your subscriptions open, which is absolutely brilliant. So that section of the check-in I don't need to do, but make sure you leave a comment in the description box before you pop over and send me that message, and then once you do, we can fix and work out which pattern you guys would like.
Right, that's it for me for today. Thank you everybody for watching, and I hope to see you really soon. So if you can, please stay in and definitely stay safe, and ta-ra for now everyone.